In today's real estate exam prep video, we're going to focus in on two key real estate concepts that really confuse students as they're studying for their real estate exam: novation and assignments. We're going to discuss them right now. Hey everyone, if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Vojchehoske and welcome to the Real Estate Classroom YouTube channel, where my mission is very simple: to help you pass your real estate exam the first time. All right, so I want to talk about two key concepts that, quite frankly, really confuse the hell out of students as they're studying. They are novation and assignments. Both have to deal with contracts. So what I'm going to do is we're going to cover the definitions of each, and then I'm going to give you an example. Maybe it'll clarify the application part here. So what is novation? Novation is substituting a new contract for a previously agreed to contract. An assignment is where one party assigns their rights to a contract to someone else. And there are a couple of key points. I have them on your screen here. Assignments only transfer a party's rights under the contract, where novation transfers both parties' rights to the contract and their obligations. And with novation, all parties have to agree to the novation. All right, so Paul, what does all that mean? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say that you are a tenant and I am the landlord, and we sign a lease agreement. Now let's discuss assignment first. Let's say you've lived in my apartment 6 months of a 1-year lease, and you decide that you want to move out, but you have a friend that wants to move in and basically take over your lease agreement. So instead of signing or having the new tenant, your friend, sign a new lease agreement, we just transfer all the rights and obligations from you to your friend, and then your friend is going to carry out the remaining terms of your lease contract. Now, when that assignment is signed, you're off the hook, because your friend who assigned your lease agreement, they take over all the responsibilities and the benefits and rights of that original lease contract. Now, as I said in the key point, assignments only transfer one party's rights. And the other thing is, as it's inferred in point number 2, is with assignments, me as the landlord, I don't have any party to it. Unless my lease contract specifically says that assignments or subletting is strictly prohibited without consent of the landlord, you're free to do it. So if our lease agreement didn't have that prohibition in the lease contract, you could go ahead and assign your rights and obligations in our lease agreement to your friend, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? One party, you, assigning your rights and obligations over to your friend, and then your friend is obligated upon signing the assignment to fulfill the terms. That's what an assignment is. Now let's talk about novation. Same scenario. You and I have a lease contract. You're 6 months into a lease and you're moving out, and you have a friend that wants to move in. So instead of doing an assignment of the lease, me and your friend, remember, you and I have a lease contract in place, totally enforceable. So what we're going to do is, me and your friend, we're going to sign a new lease agreement. So there's going to be a new contract, a new lease contract that's going to replace the old one between me and you. Now, typically what happens is the terms aren't renegotiated. It's just going to be all the same terms that you and I had in our lease agreement. Those same terms and conditions are going to be put into the new lease contract with your friend. And me as the landlord, your friend as the new tenant, we sign it. And that is novation. We are substituting a new contract for a previously agreed to contract. There's also one other function under novation. I gave you an example of your friend that's going to take over your lease. Let's say, for example, you and I have a lease agreement, and it's a 1-year lease agreement. We're 6 months into it, but we want to change some terms to that lease contract, well, remember, we have a currently enforceable lease contract. You and I can draft up a new contract changing the terms. That is also considered novation. So we create a new contract and it's going to substitute this old contract. And once the new contract is signed, the old contract becomes void. So that is the difference between novation and assignment. It can be very confusing, I know. If you want more details on assignments, more specific in-depth study of it, I'm going to leave a link right up here in the upper right-hand corner to a video that I did. I highly suggest that you check that out. If you have not subscribed, click to the little circle to my left and comments and questions down below. That would be awesome. See y'all in the next video.